fam, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely.
Hello friends, it's your queen, it's your lady, it's your girl Lavi at Belvy Creations, the beautiful live channel where we share a whole lot of facial care routine, facial mask, we share a whole lot of smoothies, health tips, and health herbal teas. And then we share a whole lot of recipes of things that you can actually find around your kitchen to make your very own hair care and skincare products that will make you look beautiful naturally. Above all, we also share chit chats on African perspectives. So, in today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys a talk on African perspectives. And before I start this video, I would like to thank you all, my new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. For you, my returning subscribers, and to you who just stumbled by this video, thank you, thank you, thank you. All I have is love for you. Thank you so very much. This is a part 2 of a video I made earlier about how hard it is to be an African woman. On the other hand, this is not the same case as an African man. I'm talking about a traditional African man, a traditional African woman. A traditional African man is a man that has grown up as an African, embedded in the African culture and beliefs pertaining to the role of a man in a society and the role of a woman in the society, and that has irreconcilable differences when it comes to the position of sometimes just sit down and just say to yourself, oh, how does my husband manage to do all the things he does by himself? So today's topic is about the unseen burden of the African man. So many times we do not appreciate what these men do. So many times we close our eyes to how hard it is to be an African man and how hard it is to be an African woman is in that. As an African woman, we are for the most part brought up prepared for what we will see in our adult. The African men for the most part are not brought up this way. So much so that most of them, when they grow up, they're kind of, when they get into the dating and marriage scene, they're kind of confused. They don't even know what to do. They don't even know how to handle it. They don't even know how to go about it. And then some of them actually make mistakes. Some of them do mess up. Some of them just act crazy. But for those of them who are actually doing a great job, how many of us African women, how many of us African children, how many of us siblings, how many of us moms, how many of us family members do actually sit down to actually celebrate these men for the great things they do for the family? First of all, when an African man grows up and gets into the dating scene, his parents expect him to give some money because it's your responsibility to take care of your parents. Secondly, it is their responsibility to take care of their other younger siblings, so much so that they have to starve their own needs because they have younger ones to look after them. Sometimes they have to even sacrifice their own personal needs, their own very important personal needs, because maybe it's the younger ones who have to go to school, maybe they have to take care of the bills in the house, and sometimes we do not appreciate them. Sometimes they have to take care of themselves, looking for a job, looking for a place of their own, because when you grow up and you're old enough as a boy, you should actually not live in the same house as your parents, because your parents are looking up to you to be the person that leads the family into better things. So while you're struggling to look for a job, you still have people expecting from you. Whether or not you have a job, you still have your younger ones looking up to you. You still have your younger siblings looking up to you. You still have your parents looking up to you. And then you still have your cousins looking up to you. And if you have grandparents, you have your grandparents looking up to you. And then the fifth responsibility of an African man, that is one of the unseen silence of an African man, is even when they get to start dating, they meet a girlfriend or a fiance, the girls the girl becomes their responsibility. They have to see how to satisfy the girl. They have to see how they start providing for the girl, maybe the girl's siblings, maybe the girl's parents, and maybe the girl's extended family members once he is known in the girl's family. This is a whole lot of responsibility. Now, when he finally gets married and then has a family of his own, there are times that he has to struggle to see how he can actually balance taking care of his wife and kids and still having to take care of his own siblings, his parents, his family, and then his wife's own family and extended family members. So much so that whether the man is working or not, we still want something from him. If he doesn't have anything, we turn to tell them how they are not man enough. We turn to look down on them. We turn to smash and step on their ego and make them feel worthless because they are unable to provide, because it is the responsibility of a traditional African man to provide. So how many of us do really sit down and think, you know, like you're at home, your husband doesn't have a job, or your brother doesn't have a job, or your dad doesn't have a job, and we just tell them, don't worry, it'll be okay. Or we try to help them, or we try to chip in something. So many times, there are so many women that will not even allow the man to even sit at home for just 6 months if he doesn't have a job. Then we start calling him names. You're a useless man. You cannot go out to find a job like your friend. You cannot provide for the house like your friend. Your mates are doing this and you're not doing that. And this is the reason why when you look at the life expectancy of African women is to African men, you see that a lot of African men die early, not because they are worthless, but while the African woman has been brought up from childhood to face the responsibilities she faces, facing those responsibilities at adulthood for an African man can really be sometimes difficult. And if you are in an environment where your family is not supportive, your siblings are not supportive, your wife is not supportive, your kids are not supportive, or your extended family members who expect from you are not supportive, then you would generally be driven into some very negative kind of attitudes, like staying out of the house late, mixing up with bad friends, coming home drunk, gambling, scamming, and other irresponsible habits just to take away the sorrow and the burden of being an African man. So if you are watching this video today and you've got an African man beside you, whether be it your older sibling, be it your younger sibling, be it your dad, be it your uncle, be it your husband or your in-law, or whatever male friend that is around you who is an African man, please give them a hug. Show them some love, because there are so many unseen burdens that African men go through that they don't really talk about it, but this is really a heavy burden that we can only help them become better men by appreciating everything they do, because they say to be a man is not a day's job, but with the right support system, being a man can actually be a day's job. So okay, so it's the end of this video, guys. I hope this video inspired you, impacted in you something, and it's a goodbye from me to you. Have a Belvy and goodbye.
Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely.